Xavier Ashford, showing a rare touch of gentlemanly concern, reached out to adjust Aria's dress and fasten the delicate button. "I'll do it myself," Aria said, her voice trembling. Her fingers fumbled with the tiny button, but it kept slipping out of her grasp. In the end, it was Xavier who leaned forward and fastened it for her. He murmured another apology. To compensate her, Xavier personally called attorney Harrison Sinclair, explaining Aria's father's situation in detail. Harrison Sinclair, who had always respected Xavier as a promising junior, immediately agreed to take the case and arranged a meeting with Aria. After a brief exchange, Xavier ended the call. He sat behind his desk, lighting a cigarette. "Besides handling your father's case, if there's anything else you need, feel free to ask." Aria knew this would probably be their last meeting. Perhaps in the past, Xavier might have occasionally thought of her body, but not anymore. He had clearly drawn a line. Aria was smart enough to understand. She forced a light smile. It was just a moment of physical desire. "I didn't lose anything. In fact, I should thank you, Attorney Ashford, for helping me with my father." Her voice wavered slightly at the end, her nose tingling with suppressed emotion. But she refused to cry in front of him. They weren't even friends. Crying here would be meaningless. She said goodbye and insisted on taking a cab home herself. Xavier said nothing, remaining seated behind his desk, smoke curling around him, his gaze inscrutable. Aria didn't go home immediately. She wasn't ready to face Amelia's expectant yet disappointed gaze. Night had fallen and Aria wandered through the city streets. In the city center, the Ferris wheel glowed with multicolored lights. Couples hugged and kissed beneath it, immersed in their fleeting moments of happiness. Aria stood still, staring up at the spinning lights. The night breeze brushed her face and tears welled up in her eyes. A Bentley drove past her. Inside, Xavier Ashford spotted her through the window. She stood under the Ferris wheel, her eyes reflecting the starlight and the shimmering lights above. But Xavier wasn't self-absorbed enough to think she was thinking about him. He knew exactly who occupied her thoughts. With a sharp press of the accelerator, the Bentley sped away. The next day, Aria returned to her job at the prestigious music academy in N City. Her colleagues had heard about her family's troubles and offered words of comfort. Aria forced a small smile. "I'm okay, really." At 10 a.m., a courier arrived with a package. "This is from Attorney Ashford," the delivery man said. Inside was an exquisite velvet box. When she opened it, a diamond necklace sparkled under the light. It was breathtakingly beautiful, and undoubtedly expensive. A colleague whispered, "This brand, with diamonds like these, it must be worth at least $1 million. Aria didn't want it. But there was no way to return it. The delivery contained no contact information. After work, Aria went to Jwin Law Firm. She left the velvet box at the reception desk. "Please give this back to Attorney Ashford." The receptionist was puzzled but agreed. Just as Aria turned to leave, Xavier emerged from the office with a young woman beside him. Aria recognized her immediately from magazines. Kara Ashford, Xavier's younger sister. Kara clung to Xavier's arm, pouting. "Brother, I've asked you so many times to meet Talon. Just once, please." Xavier dismissed her complaints with little effort. Aria watched quietly, a self-deprecating smile on her lips. She left silently. Xavier noticed her and walked to the receptionist. The receptionist handed him the velvet box. Xavier took it without a word and placed it in his drawer. For a long time he didn't think about Aria Delacroix, except on nights when loneliness crept in, and he remembered slender legs and a fragile waist.